Hello, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be discussing about my reaction to the Under 20 World Cup roster. With the U-20 World Cup about to start in Chile at the end of this month, and with the campaign starting for the US at the 29th, the US men's national team just announced their roster for the Under 20 World Cup. And today we're going to be discussing about my reaction, my thoughts, and of course about notable absences from this roster. And of course, we're going to be discussing about my predictions for this group of players. As always, like there's of course going to be notable absences since this is not a FIFA mandatory window, so it's optional for clubs to release their players. So that's why there's always notable absences with every edition of the Under 20 World Cup. So let's start off this video. But before we continue, I'd like to tell you guys to like and subscribe so you guys can never miss another video. And to also not forget to follow me on X and on TikTok. There'll be more content on those profiles. So let's continue with the video. Let's start off with my thoughts on the three keepers selected. I think Dale Cochin, obviously, I think he's going to be the starter from all these three keepers. I think he has the highest ceiling by far. And although he's the third choice goalkeeper right now in Barcelona, but people in Barcelona and from La Masia, they have high opinions on this kid. He's a goalkeeper with a very, very high ceiling, in my opinion. He can play out his back extremely good for his age, and he's also a decent shot stopper. So I think this is not even close. I think Cochin is the starter by default. And then Duran Ferre and Alim Boudry both playing MLS. They're like the second choice goalkeepers right now. Andrew Rick, who was starting for the Philadelphia Union, I think the Philadelphia Union didn't release him because he's a starter right now, and Andre Blake is injured right now, so I think they're not going to decide on risking on losing more points. So that's why I think Andrew Rick wasn't selected to this roster. And for Julian Icestone, I'm kind of surprised. He plays for Brentford's youth teams, and in the matches that I saw him play in March, I think it was a Mexico game. He's a goalkeeper who is very tall and has very good reflexes, very good shot stopper for his age. I'm surprised he wasn't selected for the under 20s. I'm surprised because I think Brentford would have let him play in this tournament, but for some reason Mitrovic didn't select him. So I think outside of these two, at least the good part is that Dio Cochin is going to play for this under 20 national team. We're going to continue with the center backs, and the three center backs selected were Josh Winder from Benfica, Noah Cobb was on loan with the Colorado Rapids from Atlanta United, and then Ethan Kohler, who plays for SC Ville in the third division of Germany. Of course, the two big absences here are Noah Banks from Augsburg and Matai Kimboni from Bournemouth. Both both were not released for different reasons. Augsburg just wanted to keep Noah Banks around, and Matai Kimboni has like a small injury or something. Both are obviously like the two best prospects we have at this category at the center back position. Noah Banks probably one of the best prospects we've ever had at the center back position. He just like reminds me of Chris Richards at the same age, but he was even better. Like Noah Banks like is better than Chris Richards when they were both at the same age. Like Nokai Banks, like I've seen this dude dribble in the midfield, pick out very good passes. Then his awareness on the defensive side is amazing. I think Nokai Banks has a very bright future in the Bundesliga, and him being absent from this group is a huge blow for this under 20 national team. But still, I think Josh Winder and Noah Cobb will be the two de facto starters at the center back position. Winder, he's like he has like rumors each like preseason that he might get some first team minutes with Benfica, but it's obviously very hard to break out there. And Noah Cobb has played a lot of minutes in MLS. And has looked somewhat all right. So I think those two will be the starters at the center back position. Next are the fullbacks, and the four fullbacks selected were Francis Westfield from the Philadelphia Union, Luca Bombino from San Diego, Nolan Norris from Dallas, and Reed Baker Waiting from the Seattle Sounders. All the fullbacks here are from Major League Soccer. So starting off with Westfield, he has played a lot of minutes for the Philadelphia Union. He offers some versatility, can play on both fullback positions, but he primarily plays as a right back for the Philadelphia Union. Then Luca Bombino, he is the starter for the San Diego FC. the best team in the Western Conference as of now. I'm surprised San Diego and Philadelphia Union let both of them go to this tournament, but kudos to them for letting them play this tournament because they will be two very important pieces for this national team. Nolan Norris, he's the captain of this group, and I think just because of that, I think that's why he'll be starting over Bombino. I do hope Bombino starts over Nolan Norris, but I find it very difficult. But Nolan Norris does offer a lot of versatility. Like I remember in the U-20 CONCACAF Championship, he played as a center back. Then he can also play in the midfield. So I think he will be playing multiple positions across the tournament. And then Reed Baker Whiting, he's a right back for the Seattle Sounders, a rotation player. Kudos to the Seattle Sounders for also letting him play this tournament. And I remember he could also play in the midfield. So again, this group offers a lot of versatility and a lot of experience in MLS. And hopefully we get to see them this September and October. Next are going to be the midfielders. And from what I think from this group, I don't think there's any high ceiling players, but in this group, there are many players that played a lot of minutes in MLS. Starting off with Ben Kermansky with Parma. I think that loan move to Parma was the best for him because at Inter Miami, like he wasn't really developing. Inter Miami is like always going to be one of those teams that is always a win now since they got Messi, they've always been in win now mode. So of course, Benjamin Kramaski is not going to be able to develop much over there. Then Pedro Soma played a couple seasons in Spain. He played like 1 or 2 seasons with Barcelona's youth teams, and now he's in Major League Soccer with San Diego to get some professional minutes. Then Nico Shakiris with the San Jose Earthquakes. Things haven't gone out to plan. He's had injuries. He's also like not been rated by many of the coaches. So it's kind of been difficult for him, but for this under 20 national team, he won the best player at the U-20 CONCACAF Championship, and this is also his second U-20 cycle. So hopefully, he does have a good U-20 World Cup, so he can get a loan move abroad. Hopefully, because I think that is where he's going to best develop. San Jose is always one of those teams that have interesting prospects, but they don't tend to develop them properly, and they always develop somewhere else. Then Tahar Harbrun from the Columbus Crew has been starting recently for one of the best teams in Major League Soccer at recently. And then Brooklyn Reigns from the Houston Dynamo, a very flashy player in my opinion. He tries a lot of dribbles. He's kind of fun to watch. Then Matt Corcoran, who's played many professional minutes in USL. But recently, he played with Rhode Island, but also has played many seasons at Birmingham Legion. So he has a lot of professional experience. And for the rest of the season, he's going to be playing with Nashville. So although this group doesn't have high ceiling players, in my opinion, but they do have a lot of professional experience, and together they played pretty good in the friendly. So I hopefully we get to see them continue to play good during this tournament. Next are going to be the wingers, and starting off with Cole Campbell from Borussia Dortmund. I think he should find at least a loan move away from the German Giants. He's only played a little bit with Borussia Dortmund, and I'm kind of disappointed again because really, like after Reina, like I thought they were at least going to treat him better, but again, like he had some transfer rumors to Stuttgart over the summer, but like Dortmund just want too much money for him. I remember Stuttgart offered like 7 million euros, like for a player you don't even use. Like that's like a good sum of money, but again, Dortmund are just being a pain in the rear end. Hopefully, at least gets a loan move to some Eredivisie team because of all the players on this roster. I think someone who has a legit shot for a World Cup roster spot is Cole Campbell. Like we don't have that many like players out wide that are left-footed and have quality. And I think if Cole Campbell can find minutes somewhere, I think he has a legit shot at a World Cup roster spot. And then Peyton Miller, who plays mostly as a left back for the New England Revolution, he's included here as a winger, mostly due to because he is fast, dynamic, and direct. He's I'm not very high on him as a winger. I mostly rate him as a left back. He reminds me a little bit of A Rob, not the most technical player, but he does the job. And defensively, he does the job for now. I think he should get should move to Europe as soon as possible. I don't think in MLS he's not going to develop as he should. And then Luke Brennan from Atlanta United sometimes gets off the bench for them. Not really too high on him. Someone who I wished was on the roster was David Vasquez, who was on loan with San Diego from the Philadelphia Union. He just scored like last month, and he was the top goal scorer at the U-20 CONCACAF Championship. I'm kind of surprised he wasn't included here because he has played a lot. He's been playing pretty good for this group, but was now it's going to be another like huge absence from this group. Kind of disappointed, but again, Marko Mitrovic sometimes makes some bad decisions. So hopefully, Cole Campbell and Peyton Miller do the job. Finishing with the strikers, both strikers play in RSL. Zambrano, starting off with him, not too high in him. I thought Carlos Figueroa should have been in this roster like before him, but like they left him off the roster. Not too high in Figueroa either, but at least he was a goal scorer for the under 17s. And then Xavier Gozo, I kind of rate him. Like to be honest, like I didn't rate him at first, like last year after that under 20 CONCACAF championship because I thought he was like one of our worst players. But he kind of redeemed himself like throughout the season with RSL. He scored a beautiful goal this week against LAFC, and I'm kind of excited what he does. Fast player, has flair, like very exciting player to watch. I think he's going to be one of the players to watch for this national team. Just excited to see what he can offer because although he plays out wide, but I think as a striker for this group, I think that's what we can get the most out of. Just those filtered passes, those through balls to him from Cole Campbell or Nico Shakidis. Like I'm kind of excited to see that. So hopefully we get to see a lot from Xavier Goso this tournament. Next, we're going with notable absences, and like always, with every single edition, there's going to be notable absences, and also with every single national team, since this is a FIFA optional window, it's not a FIFA mandatory window, so it's optional for clubs to release their players. And the notable absences are Noah Kai Banks, obviously, without him, this is a huge blow to the U.S. men's national team for this tournament. He's easily one of the best center back prospects we've had in a long time. And without him, it's a huge blow to this group. Then Julian Icestone would have been a good backup goalkeeper. David Vasquez, again, a huge absence. He was one of the top goal scorers at the U-20 CONCACAF Championship last year. Then Matai Kimboni, another good center back prospect. Jonathan Shore, who's been playing a lot of minutes and could have gotten some experience for another U-20 cycle since he's still eligible for the next one. And then Carol Figueroa, who was a goal scorer at the U17s. We're finishing with this video with the ideal 11 and my predictions for this group. Diego Cochin in goal, obviously. Then the four defenders being Luca Bambino, Josh Winder, Noah Cobb, and Frankie Westfield. And then the midfield being Pedro Soma as the sixth, and then Ben Kermansky and Nico Shakidis as the dual eights. Then Peyton Miller and Cole Campbell out wide, and Xavier Goso as a mobile nine or a false nine, someone who moves across the line. So yeah, for my predictions for this group, I think another quarterfinal run. I think like at the center back position, we're Finn, obviously, and then at striker, like the only natural nine we brought in it was Zambrano, and he's not very good. So I think those two positions will hold us back a little bit, especially as the tournament goes on. Like Josh Winder and Noah Cobb are eventually gonna have to get like they're eventually gonna get tired. So I think another quarterfinal run for this group. But I do think with the experience, I think it's possible for a semifinal run. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.